make this like a little game for myself. Like there's a handful of suspects, but I doubt I'm gonna be correct because I don't read enough thrillers to know. Oh, there was a boy and there was a girl and they liked each other and then they smashed. No. Like, good morning. I am left home alone to my own devices for the weekend. My husband is on an annual trip that he takes, and while he's out having fun, I am here with the pugs, and I really just want to read. And so that's the plan. I figured I would challenge myself and do the 24-hour reading challenge and make this like a little game for myself. How this is going to work, because I've seen a couple different people do this where they do it 24 hours straight or they set a timer for 24 hours and they don't stop it. For me, I'm going to set a timer for 24 hours, and when I'm not reading, I'm going to pause the timer. Now, what counts as reading? Reading is going to be physically reading an ebook, or listening to an audiobook. I like to listen to an audiobook and do other tasks. It helps me with making dinner, cleaning, playing video games. Like, those are what I like to do when I listen to an audiobook. But I'm currently behind on my Goodreads goal by about like probably 8 books at this point. I don't know. I'll put up a little thing here. It's a lot. I need to use this time to catch up a little bit. Currently, I am reading Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, and I am about 14% in. I'm on chapter 6, 14% in. This ebook is about 418 pages, and I'm on page 56. Hopefully I can make a big chunk in this today because I'm borrowing it from my library and I need to return it in like 4 days. So I need to finish it this weekend. I'm terrible at reading ebooks. I just have a hard time focusing on sitting there and reading the words, and then I'm on my phone, so I end up getting really distracted. So I actually dug out my iPad, which I hardly ever use, but I dug out my iPad and I've been reading on there, and it actually has been helping. So I think I'll set like a timer on my phone and then read on my iPad, or vice versa. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go yet. And now I have to find an audiobook because I don't have an audiobook picked out. I don't have anything through the Libby app right now. So let's go to my Audible. I have a ton of books on there. Let's see. Something short. Hopefully I can get done this weekend. I have a short audiobook called This Is Going to Hurt by Dr. Adam McKay. Oh, I also have The Man Who Died Twice. Or there's also Hello Girls by Brittany Cavallaro and Emily Henry. How funny would it be if I was reading an ebook by Emily Henry and listening to an audiobook by Emily Henry? Okay, I just want something short though. Let's do This Is Going to Hurt by Adam K, because it's 5 hours and 45 minutes, and I will get that done in like 3 hours. So I have an audiobook picked out. I am gonna go take my doggies out because they are raring to go, and then get my morning started. Okay, I'll check back in soon. Just checking in. I have 18 hours and 48 minutes left. I honestly put a pause on this for just a second because I was feeling a little tired and I thought I was going to take a nap, and then my dogs decided that that wasn't going to happen. I have made some progress in my Emily Henry book. I think I was on page 56 and now I'm on page 144. So making progress. I put a pause on that. I started an audiobook. It is called This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. It is the Secret Diaries of a Young Doctor. I guess I'm about halfway through this book already. I listened to this during my lunch and it's interesting so far. So first of all, let me tell you about the Emily Henry book. The Great Big Beautiful Life is about this woman named Alice. The story is told from her point of view. She's a journalist and she is trying to get the job of a lifetime. There's a super famous woman that has since disappeared from the spotlight. Nobody even knew if she was still alive. Alice has managed to track her down to the island that she's living on and is asking to write her biography. And she shows up to meet with Margaret. When she's leaving, she ends up running into this super famous, well-respected biography author. And it turns out that they are going to spend 1 month competing for this job to write her biography. Meanwhile, there is like a friendly competition between Alice and Hayden and a little bit of a slow burn romance. It's really cute so far. I'm really enjoying it. I am really liking the way that the story is broken up. So it is Alice's story, and then there are snippets of the book that she's writing. And so that part is Margaret's story. We start with the story of her great grandfather and then move to her grandfather, and that's about where I am right now. She's telling the story of their lives and how this family's fortune came to them and how they built their wealth and how that is eventually, hopefully, going to affect Margaret and her life. Meanwhile, Alice is sharing a lot of her personal life, like her father, who she was very close to, passed away. Her mother doesn't really believe in her work. She thinks Alice is more capable than writing just celeb gossip, and she really doesn't support Alice's career, which is really unfortunate. And we're also learning a little bit about Hayden, even though he's kind of more of a closed book. It is very much a grumpy sunshine romance, and I am really enjoying it. The other book that I'm listening to, This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay, is about a doctor that is practicing in the UK, was practicing in the UK, and it's just like basically little snippets from a diary that he kept while he was working. It's a bunch of funny or sad stories or stories that just mean a lot to him. And I find it really intriguing. Not only that, but like the way that the medical system is set up there is very interesting as well. He is like a house doctor, so basically I would deem this as like a first year resident in the US, and his progression through medical school, and he ended up going into obstetrics and gynecology, and he's just talking about his crazy cases. And I will say the book is a little crass. Like, he talks about a woman hemorrhaging and that it bled through his pants, and so he had to wipe blood off of himself. I don't know. I just feel like little details like that can be left out, or that he got paged into emergency surgery while he was having an intimate moment with himself. There are definitely parts that could have been edited out. I don't know if that's like British humor or maybe I just don't understand it. I don't know. Anyway, I am feeling myself get a little tired, so I'm probably going to drink some tea and maybe find something to do with my hands while I'm listening to this book, and then try to pick up more of the Emily Henry book. I plan on reading until at least 10 tonight, and that'll leave me with about 12 hours tomorrow because it's a little after 4 right now. Yeah, wish me luck. So I finished This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. The ending is really sad. He does go into detail of why he decided to quit medicine, and it's just really tragic. It's interesting reading this book on a perspective of a doctor that worked in the NHS system, because everybody is for universal healthcare. As somebody that lives in America, everybody has been like looking at these countries with universal healthcare like Canada or the UK and is championing for that here. but their doctors don't get paid very well. I have seen articles where nurses have to take a second job just to meet like their rent requirements. Like that blows my mind. I don't want to turn this into a rant about the healthcare system, but it was interesting learning about another country's healthcare system from somebody that worked in that system. And I don't know the details of it, but he did say that it sounded like the government was basically saying that the doctors were really greedy that worked for the NHS, and that's why the NHS was failing. I'm going to have to do some more research on that, but from what I gathered in the book, it sounded like the government was against the NHS system. I'm glad I read it. I think the crassness of some of his stories threw me off. Therefore, I'm going to give it like a 3.5. I did appreciate the little snippets of his day to day routine and his life as a physician in the UK, but I wish that there was like a little bit more detail about the healthcare system. He said in the beginning that he would explain things. I really don't feel like he did. He explained medical terminology, which I already know, but I wish that he had explained a little bit more about how their healthcare system works. And now I'm about halfway through with Great Big Beautiful Life. I'm still enjoying it. It's super cute. I think that there is less focus on the romance and more focus on Margaret's life, which she's the motivation for these characters. So she's basically the plot of the story. I am enjoying getting to know Hayden and Alice a little bit more, and I'm probably going to get a little bit more reading done of this book before bed. But my library hold for Society of Lies just came through, and I just started that. I am about 5% into this audiobook, and I didn't read the synopsis going into this. I just saw it was Reese's Book Club pick, and I think I saw it at a bookstore, and the cover intrigued me, so I added it to my library list. But so far, we are at a soon to be graduation for Princeton, and this woman's younger sister turns up dead. And now we are flashing back to the younger sister's point of view of, I guess, what's been going on. So, only a few chapters into this. So far, I'm intrigued. Definitely a death in the second chapter grabs your attention. Anyway, I will check back in, hopefully before bed. My final check in for the evening. I will probably listen to my audiobook a little bit more while I'm falling asleep, but I'm really enjoying the Society of Lies. We're getting these glimpses of Maya, the older sister, when she attended Princeton 10 years to this current day, and then we are also getting Naomi's glimpses of when she was in Princeton 7 months before she died, and then we have the present day point of view from Maya of her trying to figure out what happened to her sister. So far, I'm really liking it. There is this very interesting aspect of like the high society, secret society kind of thing, which is interesting to think about because I know that people that go to Princeton, like obviously not everybody is like well to do, but they're expensive schools, man. Like you have to have some sort of money or some sort of major that's going to make you money eventually. So it is interesting to see these people that come from nothing go to Princeton and how they kind of try to fit into these high society, secret societies. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it, and I will continue to listen to a little bit more as I'm falling asleep. But I just wanted to check in. I have 12 hours and 45 minutes left on my timer for my 24 hours, and it is currently like 10:30 at night. So hopefully I remember to stop the timer before I fall asleep. Good night. I will check in the morning. Good morning. It is currently almost 9 in the morning. I have been up since 6. Thank you, dogs. I have used that time to read, though. We went on a little excursion this morning, and I've been listening to Society of Lies and really enjoying it. I'm about halfway through this audiobook. It reminds me of The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, except the sister Maya, the one that's investigating Naomi's death, was involved in the secret society as well, so she kind of like has that insider knowledge, but she didn't know Naomi was involved in the secret society. It's very interesting. There's a lot of layers. Clearly these sisters were not as close as they thought they were. There's a lot of secrets that they kept from one another, and I'm just interested to see how this turns out. I don't have any suspicions of who killed Naomi. I mean, I do. Like, there's a glaringly obvious suspicion, but I don't think that that's going to be the thing. I think there's going to be a plot twist. I think there's going to be a twist, but I don't know who it's going to be. Like, there's a handful of suspects, but I doubt I'm going to be correct because I don't read enough thrillers to know. Anyway, I thought I would check in and let you know that I have about 10 hours and 20 minutes left on my timer. I have finished half of Society of Lies, finished half of Great Big Beautiful Life. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. And I already finished an audiobook yesterday. So yeah, I'm working real hard on this Goodreads goal. My husband gets home tonight, so I'm excited to see him. So hopefully I'll be able to finish before he gets home. But we'll see. Anyway, I'll check back in when I have some more thoughts. I finished Society of Lies. I did not see the twist coming. It was very unexpected. I really enjoyed this book. There are dual timelines and kind of two mysteries to solve. So in Maya's timeline of when she's in college, you're kind of solving the mystery of what happened to Lila, the girl that went missing from her secret society. And then there is the current timeline, which is also technically Maya's, but you're also like getting glimpses of Naomi, and you're trying to figure out what happened to Naomi. And it's really sad. The whodunit was not even on my radar, so I felt very sad when the truth came to light at the end of the book. Still definitely reminded me of The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. Overall, I would give this book a 3.5 stars. I think that the author was trying to do something political but didn't quite get there. Our main characters, Maya and Naomi, are half black and half Asian. She touches a little bit on that, and then a lot of other characters call them racial slurs and treat them poorly. And in her author's note, she says that she wants to bring diversity to these kinds of settings and have more discussions around them. I don't know. I feel like there could have been more to that because they're still going to an Ivy League school. I think that she's trying to make a point, but the point didn't hit the nail on the head, if that makes sense. Yeah, definitely a 3.5 stars. I am working on a project this morning and I need both my hands and I can't just sit down and read right now. So thankfully The Shining just came through with my library, so I might start listening to that while I am working on my project. I'm making a t-shirt for my friend. I am going to go listen to some more books, and I have about 7.5 hours left in this reading challenge, and so far so good. I have finished 2 books, which I really didn't expect, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I am using this opportunity to read while it's just me and the pugs here. I will check back in with you guys in a little bit. Good morning. Last night my husband got home, and so I didn't really get a lot of reading done after that. We did read a little bit of Harry Potter together. He reads the books out loud to me because he wants to read them. and I did count that towards my time. So currently I have 3 hours and 29 minutes left. So I'm about to finish this reading challenge. I didn't think that this would take me 3 days, but it's okay. Life happens. I am still enjoying Great Big Beautiful Life. That is my goal, to at least finish that book during this challenge. And if I make more progress on The Shining, that's fine. I'm a few more chapters into The Shining than when I last spoke of it. For those of you that don't know, The Shining by Stephen King is about this man who's not the best man. He's a drunk. All of a sudden, he's out of work and he finds himself interviewing for a job at the Overlook Hotel as the winter keeper. And so him and his family move there, and his wife basically on the brink of divorcing him, and his kid has a special ability. I think that's what is called The Shining. So the kid has visions of this man, and this man tells him things and shows him things like the future. That part is very interesting. It's kind of like a fever dream almost. This is my second Stephen King book that I've ever read. The other one that I read is called The Institute, and I wasn't a huge fan of The Institute. So far, The Shining is okay, but I guess I never realized how many characters with some sort of psychic ability he writes about. That's been an interesting discovery for myself, because I know in The Stand he has a couple people that do that, and then of course Firestarter. I'm sure that he has a bunch of books that they don't have abilities, but I just think it's funny, the ones that I gravitate towards, they do have those abilities. Anyway, so my plan for this morning is wake up a little bit more and read. I finished my reading challenge. I read for 24 hours. Actually, I read for more than 24 hours. I ended up going over because I really wanted to finish Great Big Beautiful Life. And so I read an additional 34 minutes and 31 seconds. I feel super accomplished because I've read all these books now. All right, so just to recap, I have started and finished 3 books during the 24 hours that I was reading. I started and finished This Is Going to Hurt, Society of Lies, and A Great Big Beautiful Life. And I started The Shining, and I'm about 6 chapters into The Shining. I'm not as far behind on my Goodread goal anymore. I am now only 4 books behind behind for my Goodreads goal, which is good. I'm glad I'm catching up a little bit. The Shining is super easy to read. I have a feeling that I'll get through probably half of this by the end of the day if I keep reading the way I've been reading. Thoughts on The Great Big Beautiful Life? The ending made me tear up a little bit. There is some family stuff that Alice, our female protagonist, has going on in her life, and I can relate to that on like a personal level, so it did make me a little tearful. It was good. It was very sweet. It was just a cute little Emily Henry book. But there is deeper stuff in these books too, and I think that's why I really like her romance books, because they have a lot of layers. It's not just like, oh, there was a boy and there was a girl and they liked each other and then they smashed. No, like, I like her books because there's usually a slow burn, and then there's like a backstory to both of them and why they can or can't be together and that kind of thing. So I really like the layers that she provides for her stories. Overall, I would give it a 4.5 stars. So far, it is my favorite book of the month. I really, really enjoyed this book. There's even like a twist towards the end, which I did not see coming, especially in like a romance. You don't really see a twist coming, but anyway, I am about to go run to Costco with my husband, but I just wanted to let y'all know that I read for over 24 hours. I've finished 3 books and started another one, and I am still behind on my Goodreads goal. Well, thank you guys so much for coming along on this journey, and I hope we'll see you guys soon in a new video. Happy reading. I am home alone. Oh, I don't know why I did that. Okay, that was goofy. I'm terrible at reading audiobooks. I'm gonna get the name wrong. Alice managed to track her down to the island that she's living on. Yeah, living on. And we start with her great grandfather, her great great grandfather, her great grandfather. I know that their nurses in the UK have had to work 2 jobs just to support themselves because of inflammation. Now I'm halfway through with great. I'm always gonna mess this title up. We are getting these glimpses of when Maya, the older sister, has been. Was it? I've been listening to Society of Lies. Murphy. Gosh dang it, dog. Gosh dang it, dog. Okay. I don't remember what I was saying before I so rudely got interrupted.